Hello, everybody. Kirk Ray Smith, President and CEO of Hope Village of America. We are live on location right here at the Food Bank.
That's right.
And I'm joined by
Janita Lewis, Vice President of Community Affairs and Assistant to the President.
And again, like last month, or last episode, can you repeat
And the last season, and the season
And
before,
that?
I am your assistant.
Did you hear that?
Assist you to stay in line.
Stay in line. But we're really excited about another episode of Vivid View. So this is episode 2. Man,
Yes.
2022 is here and it's going.
That's right.
It's going.
It is. It's going by
and February is a special month for a lot of people, you know, so we got on red.
Yeah, love.
You know, love is in the air.
That's right.
But we're really excited about today because we're going to talk about a serious issue in our community, and not only here in Pinellas County, not only in Florida, but throughout the United States and really throughout the world.
Yeah.
You know, hunger is,
Yeah.
is a major issue that a lot of families are dealing with, and I know since the pandemic, there's been a tremendous increase in the number of people in need or who are food insecure, and I thought, well, we would take this opportunity to really kind of distinguish between hunger and food insecurity because they're not the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we hear people often, they sort of make it synonymous, and I guess to some extent it could be. But when you talk about food insecurity, that just means you're not sure. You're not sure where that next meal may come from. So maybe it's for the next day, for the next week, the next 2 weeks. You're just not sure.
Right.
And insecurity, is definition, is just you're just not sure. And so when you talk about food insecurity, you're talking about just that. So it's not that you're necessarily hungry, but you may be.
Right.
We want to prevent that.
Soon you will be.
And hunger is hunger.
That's right.
We've actually seen families and individuals visit, one of our 85 sites on any given day, and they're not necessarily hungry when they come to us. They may have just eaten.
Yeah.
But again, they're insecure. They're not sure on where that next meal is going to come from for them or their families. And so, again, when you talk about food insecurity, you're talking about preventing hunger. And hunger is just that. You're hungry.
Yeah.
And so we think if people come to us when they're hungry, it's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late. We lost already.
Right.
And so I think it's important to really draw the distinction. What you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. And preventing hunger. While we do these mobile food pantries, we'll go out in different communities. That's a good way to help prevent hunger.
Right.
Getting on top of that.
And not only do we have mobile food pantries, I do want to mention the fact that we do have over 85 sites that we support throughout this area. I won't name the colleges, but we are embedded on several college campuses, and we're proud of that. And so again, hunger is an issue, and don't get me wrong. Of those 85 sites, there are people who come to us who are actually hungry.
Absolutely.
But for the most part, most people we serve are food insecure. And so we want to really sort of mitigate the chance of them ever being hungry at all, because it's my belief that everyone deserves to eat.
Absolutely.
No one should ever be hungry. I think some of the families that we serve, I mean, maybe it's a family of 4 or 5, and they got to make a decision who's going to eat
And that's tough.
on any particular day, or who's going to have to wait. And just imagine that. But that's the reality for a lot of people that we serve. And again, I think since the pandemic, we saw about a 300% increase the number of people who are struggling and not sure, where those next meals are coming from. And we continue because we're not out of the pandemic yet.
No, we're still in it. Still in it. So.
Yeah, so some good stuff though. We got a good show lined up for this month.
Excited about
excited?
Some of our guests that are about to come on. We have Cherry McGrew. She's one of our board members and also a volunteer. And we also have Marie Parham, who is our volunteer manager. So we're excited to have them join us.
Yeah, they'll be joining us real soon, and they work really hard. And the difference between Cherry and you'll find out real quick between Cherry. Now, by the way, Cherry, her hair is the same color as her name. I don't know how that happened. I don't know, but we'll get in that later. But the difference between her and Marie is that Cherry does it for free, and Marie, she won't do it unless we pay her. That's what I heard. So anyway, we're looking forward to meet with those guys.
What the streets are saying.
That's what the streets are saying.
Okay. All right. So we have Marie Parham and Cherry McGrew. Like I said, Marie is our volunteer manager, and Cherry is our volunteer and also a board member. Welcome. Right. We're happy to have you.
And as I mentioned, before you guys joined us, I mentioned that Cherry, you do this for free. And Marie has to be paid. Did I have that right, or is that the other way around?
Right, I keep asking for a raise.
Right, and we want, but what we're going to do since it's a new year, we're going to give you a raise, and we're going to double what you made last year.
Oh, wonderful.
All right. But we do appreciate you for taking the time. I know you guys are very, very busy. And so we only have a few questions, and this is kind of for both you guys. So like, and so, again, I do appreciate you, by the way. I do really appreciate you, and thank you for joining us. But for both you guys, like since the pandemic, we went through a quarantine, and just overall, what changes have you seen? Like what's been different about what's been happening here at the food bank, which is our hub? What have you seen that has changed since then?
Oh, there's been a huge change. Being the volunteer manager, we did drop half
Number
of our
volunteers?
volunteers.
Wow, half of them?
Half of our
Wow.
volunteers we did drop, and so we did have a significant that did show up. They knew there was a huge need for volunteers, and we couldn't get it done without them. And people came out of the woods and showed up to help support us.
How did you work through that though? Like with having less volunteers,
wow.
how did you?
We made a lot of changes we closed our doors and we have a drive-through method now. So we had to work around that and make it work for not just for our volunteers, but also for our clients to keep them safe.
Yeah. All right. And Sherry, any changes did you witness since the?
We've witnessed a huge increase in need. Before there were a lot of families living from paycheck to paycheck, and with COVID, even though there was some assistance from the government, there were difficult decisions that had to be made, and we know that many of the people that came here for food we've never seen before. We've had huge increases in new people that have jobs but just can't keep up.
Well, I was
what's
actually
going on right
a few
now.
staff actually shared with me that they saw people coming through in like BMWs and Mercedes Benzes and that type of thing, and that's wild. I mean, that don't wake you up.
I know.
When the bottom falls out from under you unexpectedly,
Everything changes.
it's just as bad
Yeah.
as when you are living paycheck to paycheck, because what do you do now?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
That's terrible. So my question for you, Cherry, I know you volunteer every week, I believe Wednesdays. Every Wednesdays you come in and you volunteer. You're on the board. You're the chair of the Crozey Heritage Club. So why Hope Villages of America? Why volunteer with us? And why is it so important to volunteer?
Danita, about 10 years ago, I think, maybe a little longer, I was in the process of transitioning down here. I was telecommuting to my position in Washington, D.C., but could work part of my time down here and part up there. And so I decided to start checking out some volunteer activities, because that's what I do. I love to volunteer and help. And I knew once I retired, I would be spending a lot more time volunteering. And I came to the food bank on a Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and was overwhelmed with the need and the generosity and good spirit of the volunteers that were here. So I knew when I did settle down here and could volunteer both full time, that's what I was going to do, because it's a great group of people working here and the need is tremendous.
And I know we were supposed to be joined by Peter Gibson, who's another longtime volunteer here at Hope Villages, also former board member and sort of your coworker over this way. But I know you're his supervisor. I know that's how it works. That's what I heard. I heard that you were managing Peter. Good luck with that, but that's what I heard. But Cherry, we do appreciate you, because you do so much. Very humble.
Yeah.
She never really talks about all the things that she does and how she contributes to this organization in so many ways. And I always say you're the quintessential example of a supporter. You support us in so many different ways. You give her your time, and even do your own challenge, you continue to help us. And I mean, she's just amazing, and really I am grateful for you. And every time I see you, I get inspired. Sometimes I try to stay away from it because we're not paying you, so I try to avoid you sometimes, because I don't want to talk to you.
I know how to mail an invoice.
I feel guilty when I see you. It's like guilt comes over me, but thank you so much for all that you do for us.
It's a good group.
Yeah.
To be part of it.
Yeah, thank you. And our fearless leader over here, the vice president of food distribution, Melvin Thomas. He's okay.
Yeah.
He does an okay job, but really I think it's you that's making it happen over here. What you think? Is it you or Melvin?
I'm one of a great team.
Okay.
I am not.
You had a chance though. You had a chance right here just to take all the glory from Melvin. But Marie, so. And volunteerism is big to us, and some you've heard us mention on previous broadcasts that on a good day, we have 80 employees, and usually, if we're really where we need to be, it's about 2,500 volunteers annually, most of which help out here at the food bank. And so it's important to take care of volunteers, right?
Oh, yeah.
So how do you, as a volunteer manager, how do you take care of volunteers? How do you make them feel comfortable and wanted? And I mean, what do you do to make that happen?
So there are various ways that we show that our support for the volunteers through our annual volunteer recognition event that takes place every April. We have a huge party. It's to let them know that we truly appreciate what they do for us here at Hope Villages of America. And we also have a volunteer spotlight where we like to showcase. They tell us about them, their family life, what their life was before volunteering, what inspired them to come here to volunteer, and to let the community know that there are people, inspirations out there, and to inspire other people to come in to also volunteer. And then we also, there's verbally.
Yeah.
Before they leave the door, I like to let them know,
Yeah.
I truly appreciate you and everything that you do, because they are making a difference in the lives of many out here in the community.
Well, I will tell you. So I've been here 5 years, and I can tell you since you came on board, we've seen a tremendous improvement in volunteer relations. I've heard nothing but great things about you. They love you.
Yeah.
They think you're amazing. I get tired of it, honestly. To be honest, I mean, for them talking about how great you are, it sort of gets to me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, okay, enough is enough.
I think they are amazing. I realized that I would volunteer.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
inspired me.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wouldn't do
Wow.
this for just a paycheck. It's something I was telling my son. When I retire, I want to be able to get out there just
Wow.
like they are.
Why do
volunteer.
you love your job so much? Because that was a question. Like, why do you do this? Like,
That's
keep
a long
coming-
story.
The whole villages.
That's a long
well,
story.
I mean, but because you seem like you're really like you get joy out of doing this.
I do. It changed my life. I
Wow.
came here and I was looking for hope.
Wow.
And it's a long story.
That's
though,
all right,
but
that's
to
all
sum
right.
it up, they have inspired me to keep going.
Wow.
My manager Melvin has gave me hope and encouraged me to be the best that I can
Yeah, well, that's who he is.
So
He's that
it's,
kind of guy.
it's been a life changer and it saved me.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is.
I'm getting emotional. And this is like February. It's like, Valentine.
Okay, so the next question is for the both of you. If there's someone out there watching right now the show that's interested in volunteering with us, what would be your message? What would you tell them to encourage them to come and support Hope Villages?
I would definitely tell them, come out, give it a try. You'll make new friends, find new skills and talents, and all the while making a difference in the community and the lives of many.
It's a great way to give back.
Yeah.
And you can pick the day that you want to volunteer. You can pick the time slot that you want to volunteer. And if you go on vacation, you just go on vacation or travel or whatever, and you come back, you get right back in.
We'll be right here waiting on you.
Right.
Yeah, that's sort of the way it works.
Yep. Wow. Okay, awesome. Well, we appreciate you both for
thank
taking
you.
the time out to come be our guests on the show. We appreciate both of you all and the work that you do and serving the community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I got emotional. I
see
don't
the
know what
tear.
happened because usually that don't happen to me.
Yeah, I
I'm just
know.
like my eyes got warm and I started feeling. I got lightheaded. I mean, what is that? I don't even know what that is. But really, she does a great job for us, and I'm just inspired by her leadership. And of course, Cherry.
Absolutely.
What can I say? She
She's
does so
amazing.
much for us and sacrifices. She's just. I think she again a quintessential example of giving back, of selfless service. Service above self. And we need people like that. And we are fortunate because we do have a lot of people here at Hope Villages who do support us that way. And so it's just inspiring. And so for us to do what we do, there's three things that we ask for. And I'm wondering, maybe at the next show, you'll be the one to do this. How about that? How about you fire me from this part of the show? And you take it over, okay?
I will.
So, but
Easy.
wow. Well, we get a question all the time, and the question is, what do you need? How can we help? And there's really three things that we ask for each and every time that question is raised. So yeah, Janita, so in order for us to do what we do each and every day, there's three things that we ask for. And every time the question comes up, how can we help? How can we get involved? We ask for these three things. We need advocacy. And again, as I mentioned before, the greatest existential threat to this organization and our mission, and a detriment almost, is obscurity. People just not knowing who we are. And so that visibility is critical. So when we talk about advocacy, we're not talking about any kind of governmental space or politics, but really advocate for this organization and speak about us clearly in terms of who we are, what we're about. We serve over 150,000 people living in Pinellas County. Really throughout the Tampa Bay area, that number continues to grow, unfortunately. The need for our programs and services is on the rise. But what is fortunate is that we are in a position to meet those needs. Second, we need volunteers. Volunteerism is a big part of who we are. It's been since our inception. In fact, the first 25 plus years of our existence, it was 100% volunteer driven. There was no paid staff. And so we know without volunteers, we couldn't do what we do each and every day. We depend on, rely on over 2,500 volunteers. As a result, and again, only 80 employees, but as a result, 90 cents of every dollar stays with our mission. So we're able to put money right back into the community as it's donated without an embarrassment of expenses or overhead. And then lastly, financial support. No margin, no mission. Doesn't matter how noble your mission is, doesn't matter how committed or how pure you are in your work. Without finances, it's impossible.
It is.
Now again, you can make an incredible income. Without ever making an impact. You can achieve all types of wealth and never really make an impact. But it's impossible to make an impact without income. Again, no margin, no mission. So we rely on the financial support coming from our community. And so again, that's our appeal 365, advocacy, volunteerism, and financial support.
And there's ways that you can support us financially. We have an upcoming event coming up on Saturday, February the 26th. That is our Blue Jean Ball that will begin at 7 o'clock, and that will be held at Church of the Ascension, who is another huge partner of ours, huge supporter since the beginning of time.
Yeah, that's right. I would say the beginning of our time, because I can tell you right now, Church of the Ascension has really stepped up in many, many ways, and really a lot of the local churches have stepped up for us big
Absolutely.
time. We actually had people donate their stimulus checks to us, which was like
that was amazing.
That was incredible.
That was
amazing.
amazing.
And so for more information about who we are, how to donate, how to get involved, how to volunteer, you can always visit our website at hopevillagesofamerica.org. Again, that's hopevillagesofamerica.org. I know it's scrolling somewhere.
Yeah.
But really, if you want to support us, that's how you get involved. If you just want to learn more about us, if you're in need of our services, you can always visit our website as well. And there's also a switch on our website. So if you're in a domestic violence situation and you're worried about your abuser discovering you visit our website, there's actually a button you can click that'll take you right off our website somewhere else. So again, hopevillagesofamerica.org.
You can dial our main line at 727-584-3528 or our 24-hour hotline at 727-442-4128 or 1-800-500-1119.
And as we get to the end of this episode, and wow, I can't believe that 2022 is here already, and it's moving probably almost as fast as 2021. But being in need is never any fun. Being in a position where you need help, and I don't think just by nature we don't like asking for help, and it's totally natural to not want to reach out in a time of need, and I get that and I understand that. A lot of the families that we serve, individuals that we serve, as we discussed earlier, were in a pretty good position just a month ago, and then all of a sudden the bottom fell out and they're in need. And I also know that during the holidays, people love to give and volunteer, and that's amazing, and we love all of that. But the reality is, once you get into January and February, unfortunately for a lot of our families, that need doesn't go away.
No, it doesn't.
They're still in need, and so when you're not necessarily in the spirit of giving and that type of thing, and again, we get that. The need continues to grow. And so you kind of have this situation where people are afraid to ask for help for whatever reason. And again, we get that. Pride is true, and we all have it. But the need increases nonetheless. And we also see kind of a dip in people supporting us financially because they sort of left that giving mode, that season of giving. But the reality is we need help year round at all times. And I do want to say this, is that if you are in need, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You're not alone. None of us are any better than you are. We're not, we just happen to be in a situation where, things may be going a little bit better, but doesn't make us better.
Right.
And we all deal with difficulties. In life, it ebbs and flows. You have good days and bad days. And I think, and I don't know, Janita, if you agree, but I think that, if you have any good fortune in your life at all, at any time, you have the responsibility, an obligation to help other people experience at least a little bit of what you're experiencing. I mean, do you agree?
I agree completely.
So we're here for you, and just know that at Hope Villages, we have your back 100%, and we can't wait to help you in any way that we possibly can. We're here for you. And so I think we're at the end. And you know, we have to remind the people of something that's important. And that's what's that? Remember to stay vivid.